Text mode. Bluetooth mode. byproduct of your perceiving the world. However, the truth is thoughts and emotions shape your life. Have you ever to consider how powerful your thoughts and emotions are? It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that they're just a byproduct of your perceiving the world. However, the truth is quite the opposite. Your thoughts and emotions have the power to shape your reality. Every time you have a thought or feel an emotion, it activates certain neurons in your brain to fire together, creating a specific neural pathway. The more you feel the same feelings and feel the same thoughts, the stronger and more established those pathways become. This is what's known as Hebb's law, which says neurons that fire together wire together. Take, for instance, the experience of seeing an ad featuring a stunning supermodel. Comparing yourself to that model, you might start feeling insecure about your own appearance. If you see this ad repeatedly, the neurons that fire when you feel insecure and the neurons that fire when you think of your looks will begin to wire together. Eventually, you'll start to feel insecure anytime you think about your appearance, hardwiring that association into your brain. And that's not all. Your thoughts and emotions are also greatly connected to your physical state. Research has shown that stress, anxiety, and negative emotions can significantly impact your physical health. In contrast, positive thoughts and emotions can boost your immune system and improve your overall well-being. No wonder the placebo effect is so powerful. It highlights that if you simply believe a pill will alleviate your symptoms, your body often responds as if it's receiving a real medical treatment. Now imagine if you could harness the power of your thoughts and emotions to create the reality you desire. Just as negative thoughts can shape our reality, positive thoughts can do the same, but in more beneficial ways. By becoming aware of your limiting beliefs and harnessing the power of your mind through intentional practices, you can create a new perception of reality and a more fulfilling life. What's holding you back from the change? The hardest part about change is not making the same choices the day before. Joe Dispenza. Consider how you view yourself. You might cling to certain beliefs about your identity, often justifying them with thoughts like, that's just who I am. You may have told yourself, I've always been lazy, I'm naturally anxious, or I'm quick to anger. Those are the thinking habits you once developed that became deeply engraved into your identity. Overcoming these limiting beliefs requires you to dare to dismantle your current self. To effectively challenge the beliefs that limit you, you must first identify them. So there are three main areas that keep you trapped in old patterns of thought: your environment, your body, and your perception of time. First, let's talk about environment. Your environment encompasses everything around you: people, places, societal norms, and the cultural backdrop against which you live your life. It's a powerful influencer of behavior, thoughts, and feelings, often dictating what's considered normal or acceptable and making it challenging to break free from the status quo. For instance, if you're surrounded by risk-averse people, their fear of failure may become your own, hindering your willingness to pursue new opportunities. Similarly, an environment that values conformity over individuality can stifle your creativity and suppress your true self. The key to overcoming the environmental factor is to understand that you're not the product of your environment, and you can choose what you make out of any situation. And now, let's move to body. The body is your physical vessel through which you experience the world, but it can also become a barrier to living the life you want. This includes not only physical limitations, but also how you perceive and feel about your body. Negative body image, health issues, and even the habitual ways in which you use your body can all impact your mental and emotional well-being, thereby influencing your ability to pursue your goals. Overcoming the limitations imposed by your body requires a holistic approach that includes nurturing your physical health, cultivating a positive relationship with your body, and developing resilience to push beyond your comfort zone. And finally, there goes time. Time, or rather your perception of it, is a significant factor that holds many people back. The feeling of not having enough time, being too late or too early to pursue certain paths, or being trapped in the past or overly fixated on the future can paralyze you. This perception is often rooted in fear, fear of change, fear of failure, or fear of the unknown. To overcome the limitations of time, you need to adopt a more flexible and present-oriented mindset. This involves focusing on the now, understanding that the right time for action is often the present moment, and recognizing that the journey is as important as the destination. In essence, the big three factors are intertwined, each influencing and reinforcing the others. Overcoming these barriers requires a conscious effort to understand their impact on your life, a willingness to challenge and change your perceptions and behaviors, and the courage to step into the unknown. Break the habit of being yourself to start bending reality. So if we want to change some aspect of our reality, we have to think, feel, and act in new ways. We have to become someone else. Joe Dispenza. Your daily life is a series of habits and routines, so ingrained that they often go unnoticed. These habits extend beyond simple actions like brushing your teeth or taking the same route to work. They encompass habitual ways of thinking, feeling, and reacting to the world around you. Over time, these mental and emotional habits solidify your sense of identity, creating a feedback loop that reinforces who you think you are. This cycle is so powerful that it can make the prospect of change seem daunting, if not impossible. However, the truth is that you have the power to break this cycle. The first step is awareness, recognizing the patterns that no longer serve you. This requires a level of mindfulness that allows you to observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. By becoming a witness to your inner landscape, you can start to identify the repetitive thoughts and emotions that dictate your actions and reactions. Once you've identified these patterns, the next step is to challenge them. This involves questioning the beliefs that underpin your habitual thoughts and feelings. Many of these beliefs were formed in early childhood and may no longer reflect your current reality or aspirations. By confronting these outdated narratives, you create an opportunity to redefine yourself. Creating change requires practice and repetition. Just as your current habits were formed through repeated thought and behavior patterns, new habits are formed in the same way. This is where the concept of neuroplasticity comes into play. By intentionally introducing new ways of thinking and feeling, and by practicing these consistently, you can rewire your brain. This doesn't mean simply replacing negative thoughts with positive ones. It involves a deeper transformation of how you view yourself and your potential. The process of breaking the cycle of being yourself is not about self-denial or becoming someone you're not. Rather, it's about shedding the layers of conditioned thought and behavior that obscure your true self. It's about aligning your thoughts, actions, and feelings with the person you aspire to be. As Joe Dispenza says, with our thoughts and feelings, we choose our reality. Think in a new way to change your life. This alignment doesn't happen overnight. It requires dedication, patience, and compassion for yourself as you navigate the complexities of personal transformation. As you embark on this journey, you'll encounter resistance, both from within yourself and from the world around you. Change can be uncomfortable, and the familiar pull of old habits can be difficult to resist. However, the rewards of breaking the cycle are immeasurable. You'll discover a sense of freedom and empowerment that comes from knowing you have the ability to shape your own destiny. You'll experience deeper, more meaningful connections with others as you interact with the world from a place of authenticity. Manifesting new reality with quantum physics principles. Quantum physics offers profound insights into the very nature of reality and how our consciousness interacts with it. According to this theory, the world consists of countless subatomic particles, such as electrons and photons. When they're not being observed, these particles exist in what's called a superposition, meaning they can be in many places at once. This implies that the past, present, and future versions of reality are unfolding simultaneously. It's only when someone measures or observes them that they settle into a specific location and integrate it into reality. That means that your perception directly influences particles, indicating that our thoughts shape our reality. Therefore, the thoughts we give to certain quantum particles influences the events that unfold in our reality. Take the example of daydreaming about your dream home. As you visualize every detail, from the color of the walls to the furniture in your bedroom, you're not just imagining. You're actively creating a new reality where you're already living your dream. Through this mental creation, you manifest your thoughts into the quantum field, where they become entangled with other particles, which can lead to tangible results. Moreover, since you're also made of particles, all the versions of yourself are interconnected through space and time. In other words, the you that exists in the probable future, the you in this now, and the you from the past all exist simultaneously. And you have the power to decide which version you want to turn into reality. You can either adhere to familiar patterns of thinking and remain your past self, or change your way of thinking and start actively shaping the life you desire. However, while you can choose an experience you want, you can't control how that experience comes to be. Actually, you manifest the what and let the quantum field take care of the how. If your goal is to marry happily, find a fulfilling career, you can focus your intention on achieving those things. But how you achieve them will be up to the universe. Stay focused on your goals and don't get bogged down in the details of how it will happen. Start the path to the new you through meditation. You have to know what the problem is and then name it in order to have power over it. Dispenza. The first step to changing any habit or behavior pattern is to become aware of it. One powerful tool in this journey is meditation. Through meditation practice, you can connect with your inner self and access a state of pure awareness. By observing your thoughts objectively and detaching yourself from negative beliefs, you can break free from habitual patterns that might be holding you back. The practice focuses on various levels of awareness, and it doesn't require any special beliefs or prior experience. Begin by focusing on your breath and try to maintain steady breathing. The goal of this practice is to enter the lower frequency state of your brain, shifting from everyday thinking to a state of calm. The feeling is similar to that when you're just about to drift off to sleep. Focus your attention either from the top down or from the bottom up, honing in on the present moment. Next comes the challenging part, breaking emotional habits. You confront those aspects of yourself that you want to change head-on, acknowledging and releasing old emotions that no longer serve you, and accepting the fact that you can't control the outcome. It's like letting go of what's been holding you back, and trusting that something greater will guide you forward. Once you've mastered that, it's time to tackle your behavioral habits. List out and memorize the behaviors of your past self and the emotions that usually accompany them. This way, every time you slip back into those old patterns, you can gently remind yourself of the new way of thinking and redirect yourself onto the new path. And finally, the fun part, practicing the new way of thinking until they become